guys, it's Nick, and I'm right outside the headquarters of the Federal Reserve Bank that holds about 6 tons of gold. I want to use a joke to explain how the government and the Federal Reserve use lies or big lies to kind of temper people's fear and expectations about the economy, and then they kind of let you down easy. So an example of that is how the Fed has been saying for the last year and a half that inflation is temporary and it's going to go down, and they kept insisting that. And then once they started, a couple months later, they said, yeah, it's definitely still temporary. And then a couple months later, when it wasn't going down, they said, well, maybe it's a little more sticky than we thought. And then a few months after that, they go, oh yeah, it's no longer temporary, it is here to stay, and we got to do something about it. And the next thing you're going to see is kind of the same thing probably with the recession, where they go, well, we just hit the definition of a recession, but it's not really a recession, it's kind of a transition, it's a little slowdown, it's definitely not a recession. And then in a few months after the election or something, they're going to go, well, it's a little bit of a recession, but we're going to have a soft landing for sure, so don't worry about it. It's probably already over. And then after that, they're going to be like, it's a little longer than we expected. And then the next thing you know, they'll be like, yeah, it's a depression. I'm not saying it's going to be that, but here's a joke to kind of explain how they do this. So the joke goes like this. Jerome Powell is about to go on vacation on a cruise, and he has a cat that he loves dearly that he cannot take on the cruise. So he asks his buddy Joe Biden if Joe can watch his cat while he's out on this cruise. And he tells Joe Biden, he goes, hey, listen, Joe, you know, I've been working really hard with this pandemic and all this stuff, and I really need a vacation, and I want to go on this cruise, but my cat, which is the most important thing in my life next to my mother, can't go on this cruise, and I'll only trust you to watch my precious cat. And Joe Biden says, come on, man, of course I'll watch your cat. You're my buddy, you know, of course. Go on this cruise. Don't even worry about it. Everything will be fine. So Jerome says, thank you so much. He goes out on the cruise, and the first day he wakes up and he gets a text from Joe Biden, and it says, Jerome, your cat died. And now Jerome flips out, and he's like really upset. He doesn't know what to do. It's such a shock. And he calls up Joe and he goes, Joe, how could you tell me this? You know, my cat, my most precious cat, I told you to watch. And Joe's like, hey man, you know, the cat died, sorry. He goes, yeah, but the way you told me. And Joe goes, well, how you want me to tell you? The cat died, I told you. And Jerome goes, no, it's the way you said it. He goes, what you should have done is when the cat died, you text me one day and say, Jerome, your cat's on the roof. Okay, my cat's on the roof. Then the next day, you text me again and say, Jerome, your cat fell off the roof. And then I'll kind of be expecting, you know, something, it's not going to be out of the blue. And then the next day, you can text me and say, Jerome, your cat has died. And Biden's like, oh man, yeah, you know, you're right. I should have just kind of broke the news to you slowly. I'm really sorry about that, and you know, nothing could be done about it now. You might as well continue your vacation on this cruise. So Jerome says, yeah, you're right, you know, I guess I can't do anything about it, so I'll just continue on my cruise. So Jerome continues on his cruise, and the next day he gets a text from Joe Biden again. This time it says, Jerome, your mother's on the roof. All right, and this is how they explain bad news to the populations a little bit at a time. They lie a little less, and then tell you the truth, sort of. I hope you like this one. I'll see you in the next one, guys.